Hello, hi Quint. Please come home.
Sammy, how long have you lived in this house?
I moved here when I got into my junior college I was studying in Xavier. So I think it's been, like 12 or 13 years. Yeah, long time. I've grown up in Nasik, but I've moved here, I think 12, 13 years ago.
Was acting what was on your mind that you moved to Bombay for, or was it something else?
Oh, not at all, yeah. I actually moved because I had to come here to study. I was obsessed with sport. I got into Xavier's on a sports quota. Acting happened in college. I started kind of doing a lot of theatre in college. That's when the acting bug bit me.
How did you get your first ever project?
So I did a bit of modeling before I started acting. And it was the long queue at Aram Nagar, waiting there every day, coming back with a rejection every day. So this went on for I think at least 2.5 years before I auditioned for a film called Mirzya.
What were the challenges like when you went for audition, before you got your first break for a film?
When you start off, you're very young. I was 17, 18 years old when I started modeling. And then you get into meeting a lot of casting directors. There are a lot of people who give you a lot of opinions on how you should be. There were a few directors who said your upper lip's really thin, so you need to get a lip job done. So there was all this advice given to me at like an impressionable age of 18, 19. Thankfully, I was very secure with who I am and I didn't want to change anything. And then you'll find these one-odd people like Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra and Anurag Kashyap, R. Balki who back you. And then you feel a sense of security in this place.
I see some pictures right behind you to your right. Let's talk about that a little bit?
All four of them are my parents. Both my mum and dad, they used to both model. My mum was a Miss India in 1986, I think, and my dad used to model as well. And every time I'm down and out, you'll put up this brave front in front of people, but when you come home and you're sulking and you're in a bad mood, they get it all. And they've just taken it very, very kindly and have been there. They've just been the most solid support system. You know, I feel for a parent, the feeling of being proud of what your child's done, the feeling of being upset when someone says something nasty, they've heard it all. So they have just so much a part of my journey that they react much more dramatically than I do.
Should we look around a little bit more in your house?
Yes, of course. So this, much to my sister's displeasure, I have my hanging ball, which I have in the middle of my living room. I can play a little bit if you like.
Yes, please, we would love that.
So this is like my go-to thing in the morning, in the evening, whenever I'm just at home. But it's basically just, it just kind of lets me focus, helps me focus, and it's just my de-stressor. So I won't bore you all because I can go on and on.
Would you like to talk to us a little bit about when you were playing cricket professionally?
Well, I used to play in school. Even cricket, the way it started was because I wanted to bunk school and play sport. That's how obsessed I've been with sports. So I gathered like 10 of my school friends, 10 girls, and I taught them how to play. I've never coached, but I've never gone for proper training in cricket. I've picked it up watching the great Sachin Tendulkar.
What is this to your right, if you could?
So this is again another de-stressing mode because I enjoy cooking quite a bit. A lot of brownies and baking cakes and things like that. But I make my own breakfast, make my own lunch, dinner, and yeah, I think cooking is another de-stressor for me, so I really enjoy it. I like making like pizzas a lot because I like eating pizzas. So even from making the dough to making, you know, everything, so it starts from there. So a whole lot of stuff. Whatever I like eating, I like making.
Can I please invite myself over for a meal
Please,
someday?
everyone from the Quint office is welcome home for a meal.
It's on camera now. You can't
It
take it
is,
back.
yes. So, well, this mirror, actually everything in this house, all the wooden and antique stuff has been done by my dad. He makes stuff out of reclaimed wood, so this is one of his pieces. So this is, well, my most favorite corner room of the house. I watch all my films, I watch all my sport nicely in this cozy little room. I've got my harmonium. I can't sing to save my life. I love criticism if it's constructive criticism. So when I started my career, I was told my voice pitch is very high. So for the last 6 years, I've been doing this religiously every day to lower my pitch, and I see a difference. So it's only for voice exercises.
Would you like to play some for us, maybe, if you're comfortable?
I mean, I can play, but I don't want all the Quint viewers to go to sleep because it's literally just like the sargam and trying to lower your voice. But I'll try. So the whole point of this is to just, it also kind of helps you just be centered for the day. It helps me kind of focus for the day. Usually happens at like 5:36 in the morning. This is the first time I'm doing it at this hour. But goes on and on, so I don't want to bore you. But it's basically you spend a lot of time on one particular sur trying to lower it down. So that's something I do every day.
And you said you wake up at 5:30 in the morning every day?
I'm an early riser, so I wake up early. I do this for maybe 20 minutes and then I'm off for my run. For me, I feel sport has been that one thing in my life that's pulled me out of all my downs. So running has been a part of my life since Mirzya didn't work at the box office, if I can put it that way. It helped me, it pulled me out of a very low phase of my life. I ran a full marathon, that was the first race I did. After which then I said I have to set goals for myself to keep kind of wanting to get better, get faster, get longer. So I've done, I think, 22, 23 half marathons. I've done 2 full marathons.
I think the one thing I'm going to walk away learning from this, or maybe motivated, not learn, is to be more disciplined in life from you.
Are we okay sitting here?
Yeah, we can sit wherever you like. We of course spoke, you spoke a little bit about Mirzya and how that kind of, that's when you really started running, you said, right? Because it is your form of de-stressing as well. If you could talk about, your other projects that you got, how did those happen for you?
So I think after Mirzya, I almost signed 3 films before release, and then on the Monday, no one answered those calls because the film didn't work. That's how brutal this place is. And I kind of met Mr. Anurag Kashyap, who's been my savior. I was watching a film at Mami, and he doesn't know me, I don't know him. I was sitting there alone watching a film, and he's like, "Picture karegi?" Like, he was next to me. So I said, "हाँ sir, मैं actor हूँ, acting करनी है." And he said, "मैं script भेज रहा हूँ, देख ले तू." So it was like, I think 6-8 months after Mirzya, when I had no work whatsoever. I read the script and I said, "Who's directing this?" So he said, "I am." And I couldn't believe that he had offered Choke to me that way. It was so matter of fact and so not knowing me at all. Then of course, Mr. Anurag Kashyap's a busy man. He went and did like 7 other projects and had to wait for like 3-4 years till he made Choke.
Sami, you just mentioned that, on the following Monday after the film release, people actually didn't take your calls. That sounds really disheartening.
It is a tough place. People don't really speak about it. But there is everyone who's gone through this journey. So I'm not some special one who's been given this unfair hand. It's not that. It's unfair at every level with everyone. And the pressure is at every level, because even if you're a super hit actor, the pressure is to keep that stardom, to keep the success of your last film. You're constantly being judged. So I am no special person here. This is the profession you have chosen, so you have to deal with it, I think.
If you had to pick a film of yours or a show that's been the closest to your heart, which one would that be?
Well, it will have to be Ghoomer. It is everything that I've been since I was a child. It's everything that I could portray on screen. I used to be that girl beating up the boys. So it was pretty much at every level me being myself in that film. The climax of the film, when I have like a meltdown, it was it was very, very personal, because it was 7 years of, like, I'm someone who bottles it all in. So it was 7 years of the humiliation, the insults, the negativity, the discouragement, all of that which was kept within, which I could let out in that last scene that I did. And I think that's what is so beautiful about acting, is you can soak it all in and use it to put it out when you're in front of camera.
As an actor, do you usually use this when you have to channelize, intense emotions on screen?
Oh, most certainly. Like, most certainly you do. It's a very sacred place when you're doing certain scenes where you get so, like, I don't know. I don't know if AB and I will hang out together and we'll be like best buddies. But he's seen the most vulnerable side to me, which maybe my parents haven't seen either. So I feel that's what happens when you make a film, is there is so much honesty you try touching upon. You go into such dark spaces of your life to try and portray certain things, is like a Balki, an AB, Shabana Masi, who've all Angad, who've been a part of the film, is these bonds go much deeper than just what you see on the big screen, because you're shedding everything in front of these human beings, and it gets very sacred, I think. Should we head back down?
Yes, we can.
Let's go. So are we heading down? Do you want to quickly look into my room as well?
Yes, we can.
So we'll just quickly, this is my room, and so I wake up in the mornings and I make sure I see my treadmill, so I know that I have to get this out of the way quickly. I've kept my few medals there for the focus and for knowing that, okay, that's what I'm working towards. These are all the Bombay Marathon ones. Yeah.
You really love fitness and working out. It's so interesting.
Yeah, it's a part of me. I can't let it go. I can't. It's very, very close to me. So, like I said, it keeps me going. Now we can, I think, step down.
Would you like to
Back here?
sit and
Yes.
we could chat some more?
Of course.
Oh, what is this?
That stamp of approval, it is the validation that every actor looks for. So after Ghoomer released, in the evening, someone rang the doorbell and I received the flowers and the letter from Mr. Bachchan himself. So
This seems like a big accomplishment, I'm thinking, for an actor.
I mean, it is everything that an actor dreams and wishes for. There are a whole lot of awards in the country, but this is a very special award because the institution himself is giving it to you.
So what are we going to do with this? Are we just going to go and send this to all the casting directors, whoever said anything to you that not this, and correct this?
No, I feel I'd like to. I'd really like to. I just feel it is the no's and the rejections, and you can't act. You'll be no good. All that you've heard over the years, this just feels like, all right, it was all untrue. Approval of an actor from Amitabh Bachchan, yaar, aur kya chahiye?
Biggest stamp of validation and approval.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sammy, and we're so glad you're here. It's been really amazing and a very honest conversation, and I guess that's what we all thrive for. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. Thank you.